Hey guys, please do pardon the mess, but I just wanted to show you rather than tell you what the current holdup is on getting these pedals out. You know, I think I have at least 5 of them assembled in their case. Although, um, let's see if I can find one. Here it is. So my case. This case hasn't gone through any stresses that I'm aware of. It just decided to crack. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's not cool. It's possible I need to alter. Yeah, actually, that is not quite tall enough. That hole for the Ethernet. Huh. I'm glad we had this conversation. So I may have to remake all my cases. That stinks. I'm also planning. You can take a peek inside the top of the case here. Ow! Wow, that hurt. Okay, and I broke it off completely. The thickness on this, I think, is. Oh, come on, you can focus on that. I want to say it's maybe 2 millimeters. You can't. It's not. Yeah, that's maybe 2 millimeters. I started off at 1, and that was not cool. So I bumped it up to 2. It looks like I may need to get it up to 3, or maybe 2.5. That might be 1.5 now that I think about it. Also, pardon my long nails. I blame it on the COVID. So these things here that go into the bottom half, they don't go all the way up the sides. If they went up all the way up the sides, then this box would be sturdier. The model would also be simpler. It would use more plastic, but let's be honest, we're talking about 10 cents worth of resin here. So there's one issue. My cases have started cracking and warping on me. But now that I have noticed that the Ethernet port hole is not tall enough, maybe I can improve some things. Thanks for your help, guys. Okay, moving on. So that was one issue. The other issue is, here's the male connector that I got from AliExpress. I have not figured out a good way to remove these pins once you put them in. You're supposed to be able to, but it just hasn't been working. They're kind of expensive. They take a month to arrive. The quality isn't super great. It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. If I were to do this to mine, it would crack. You know, mine aren't particularly sturdy, but they don't need to be. So this is where we started. This is where I took the standard model for this particular connector. You will notice the width of the sides is quite a bit wider than the width of the sides on this one, or thickness rather. These connectors are technically supposed to be waterproof. So when in this size, it will mesh up with the gaskets in the female connector, and technically speaking, you have a waterproof connection. Look at this side. The other thing is that this latch here, it is not exactly in the right. Well, maybe it is exactly in the right spot, but it has trouble latching. It's this one on the one that I got from AliExpress. It's just a little bit further this way. So I moved it, and I could get it to latch, but then I had the problem of the wires. So this back part here is a 3D model that I got from Molex. That is one of the supported enclosures for these pins. these pins I picked up. So I figured, they put these holes in there. I'm like, oh, those must be the holes for retaining the pins and everything. And no, the exterior and the mating dimensions are correct, but the internal dimensions are not at all. So problem is I threw away most of them, but I printed so many of these, and they take a good 3 hours to print, and it just kept not working and not working and not working, and it was very frustrating. In retrospect, it also wasn't particularly smart to be iterating my design on a whole piece like this. So anyway, I started, trying to figure out why it wasn't fitting. Cracked the things open, stuck the pin in, saw the pin was not actually the hole for the retainer clip was not in the right place, and the body here was not the right size. The pin was pretty much loose in there. So I gave up on using the pre-existing 3D models, and I just tried to measure the darn thing. Should not have had to measure it, because normally you would have online from the manufacturer, they would provide dimensions, important dimensions, like the distance from here to here. Totally missing from the documentation. The length of this is present. The total length is present. Let's see. I think they might even have the distance from here to here, but who needs that dimension? Nobody needs that dimension. The dimension everybody needs is from here to there, and it's not on there. So I haven't been able to accurately measure it, so it's been iterative and blah de blah de blah. So here you can see I got smart and I started just printing one. And I tried and I tried and I tried, wasn't working, snapped one open. Then I realized, wait a minute, I don't need to have all of the plastic body that holds the wire. So I printed just these, and it took just a couple tries to get it right. And here's the one that I got right. That wire, if I had that's not coming out. The clip is holding it in place. So finally I got the dimensions right. Really excited also that the plastic resin I'm using is in fact strong enough. I was worried that maybe the plastic was just too weak. Plastic is strong enough. We're practically good to go. So what we have here, 3D printed male connector that will retain the pins. Let's see if it cracks when I squeeze it. This one actually is not quite right. Hey, that's not bad. Ah! Yeah, so don't do that. It's resin. It's brittle. Everybody knows the resin is brittle. That's just how it is. So don't squeeze that, and that won't happen. Okay. So we got that. Awesome. Now it's time to start, getting the wires attached to the pins so that I can attach them to the boards, so I can test them, and then I can ship them. That's it. That's what I'm waiting for. This board's assembled. I need to flash the firmware, get the wires on, test it, and I could ship it. But the wire I picked up to do that, 20 gauge, you saw, it's my wibbly wobbly silicone wire that this cat down here thinks is really awesome. Okay, maybe not today. Oh, there we go. I thought the insulation clipped well, but it didn't. Let's see how it look here. There we go. It just shredded up. Because silicone is not really meant to be held in those kinds of clips. This is 20 gauge. It's the right size, but silicone insulation, bad, terrible, very bad, no good idea. I have 18 gauge wire, but it is way too big. So I could either order new pins that are a larger size. But they're going to have different dimensions. I'm going to have to start all over. Also, these wires are a pain in the butt. Super big pain in the butt to get soldered into those holes. Those holes were not... They're just exactly big enough for 18 gauge wire. Once you tin the wire, it won't fit. I have to shave the wires down to get them to fit. It's time consuming and it hurts. Like, it's physically painful to do. So I've ordered some 20 gauge PVC wire. It wasn't available last time I was ordering. Only the silicone was, but PVC's there now. So I'm getting that tomorrow. That will work in my pins, which will then work in... I'm disappointed that it did that, but I expected it. That will fit in here. I've already got the female connectors. Oh man, I hope I have the female connectors. I'm going to kick myself if I don't, or if the ones that I have don't work. But anywho, yes. So now you know what the holdup has been, and may still be. We're really close. You know, the boards are technically assembled. It's just getting those connectors on there. There's a reason why the connectors add $100 to the price. It's a lot of effort to get those darn things on there. So I woke up this morning with, what do you call it? The dumbs. I had the dumbs this morning. It seems like they're getting a little better, but anyway, hopefully I want to put some time into trying to get my code updated to 0.7.6 and using an actual release, what do you call it? Release version, not just some intermediate version of the master branch. So I'll pull in the 0.76, I'll merge it. That is going to take hours and hours. It's awful. Maybe I will even try to get the pedal code merged back into my master branch. So again, I only have one branch I'm working on. Then they have a script that is supposed to build the master CI branch. I found it. It is comma specific, but it's going to be simple enough to edit it to use my repository instead of theirs, which should let me build master CI. And if I can build master CI, finally, like 2 months after I promised it, I will be able to push the latest version into Devel, and then we won't have anybody on 0.6.6 anymore. Everybody will be on the latest. It's going to be great, but it's also going to be kind of tedious because most of the people who are using this didn't want to wait, so they're using my master branch. They're going to have to reinstall from the Devel branch. That's going to be a pain. It'll be worth it in the long run, though, because then updates will be automatic. These things that I'm... Look at this thing. Crazy thing. I got a curing lamp. It came with this spinner thing. You can't stop it because it's solar powered. So it's always spinning. Unless it's dark. It takes a battery. If you put the battery in it, then it's always spinning. Always. I don't think you can only stop it from spinning by pulling out the batteries. Nevertheless, it works really great. You guys haven't seen this thing yet. With my curing lamp. I get it, I just stack some things. I get it set over top of that. And yeah, way better than my previous solution. By the way, if you're curious what my previous solution was, it was a UV flashlight that isn't even technically the correct wavelength. It worked a little. It was slow. Anyway, now 3D printed stuff properly cured. Awesome. Alright guys, I hope that this helps to explain the delays a little bit. So if you're getting steamed up, part of the delay has been complete and utter disorganization on my part. The other part has been that there's these iterative things that are taking longer than I expected. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. If you want to help out, you can become a Patreon supporter at whatever sort of a monthly level that you would like. This is the support to help with the R&D, I would say. If you're ready to jump in, head to discord.comma.ai, look for Jay Schuler, hit the GM channel, or you can direct message me, and you can order your kit. It's going to be a bit till you get it, but I shouldn't say kit. You can order my parts. Once I've got, this whole little process down pat, maybe I will. People suggested that it would be a good idea to actually sell a complete kit with the comma 2 and the harness and everything. So it would be one price that you would pay and you would get everything you need. There's a convenience factor there. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and stay safe and have a good day.